Okay, we're live. He's not on camera. There he is.
Where I am. Hey!
Okay, everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is probably the favorite guest I've ever had. It's Mikey Harlow, and not because he's super smart and attractive and funny and just like a great person, but because he's my bestie. And yeah, he's just a huge inspiration to me. And we've met on social media, but we've met in person since then, and it's always a fun time. And now he wants me to come flirt with strangers with him and go to the bar and stuff. So he needs to get me a fake ID. But other than that, we'll be good to go. Welcome.
Hey, I missed you. I'm so glad to be here. Yeah, I always forget that you're like 12.
Oh, wow. It's not not that young. I really thought we were like the same age until you told me. I'm not gonna air you out, but I really thought I'm not gonna air you out. But I really thought we were like the same age.
Me too. You just sort of seem like perpetually 25.
I'm getting that a lot. Like a lot of people just think I'm between like 23 and 25, and I would love to be older. I would love to be 23 to 25. But
by the way, now I for some reason can't look at you without seeing your Kamala impression.
I hate that. That's what I'm not.
I'm just waiting for you to start laughing.
Anytime I post a selfie, anything, people are like, "When are you gonna post another Kamala impression? When are you gonna? Oh my God, Kamala!" I'm like, I really don't think I don't think I look like her in the face, but when I did my makeup like she does, and when I had straight hair, I felt like I looked like her.
No, it's the expression or something.
That's rude.
You pull off her phoniness well.
I don't know how
trying to.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if I go like, like, yes. Yeah, if I do like a laugh, I can see it for sure.
How have you been? What have you been up to?
Dude, too fucking much. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what I've been up to.
Tell me everything.
I mean, I saw you. I saw you the night before we filmed Pause with Sam J on HBO, and ever since then, everything's been like fucking crazy. And that was like back in March. Like ever since that aired, everything's been fucking crazy. But I actually wanted to talk about that because I think almost everybody who's subscribed to me watched my coming out video because that got like, I don't know, like 1,500 views or something. Like a lot of people watched that. And in that video, I shouted you out because I was telling the story about how it all went down. And the day before, because we shot this in New York and I was staying in Brooklyn, and my bestie came to see me because I hadn't seen him since like August or something last year. And we went to dinner and he was just like, you have to come out and you have to be a big fat lesbian. And I was like, come on. I was like, I'm not ready for all that yet.
Like I had no idea you were gonna do it though, like because we were talking about it. I didn't have any idea I was gonna do it. That's the thing. You were the one, like, okay, we're at dinner. I'm like, Mikey, I'm bi. I don't know what to do about it. And you were like, I didn't see it coming.
Which is like so stupid because I thought that gay guys have like the best gaydar.
Well, not for women. I mean, gay guys are also like very self-absorbed, so we only can tell when there's something in it for us. And we're
okay. That's crazy because I feel like I was so clockable, like all through high school. Everyone thought I was a lesbian, but mainly because I looked like a boy. Like I was on the wrestling team and like did not look like a female at all.
No, you look beautiful, but I mean, I guess like the whole wrestling, like that's sort of like the lesbians who play softball and shit. Like,
that's exactly like it's like the softball wrestling stereotype, but like times 100 if you are a female wrestler. So I get it. I get why everybody thought I was a lesbian in high school. But now, even though like I dress completely differently, like I do my makeup, like I make an attempt. I make an attempt.
Yeah, don't become one of those. Don't. I was gonna say something horrible.
No. I'm not a stud. That's not me.
Can you explain to me though? Okay, I don't understand this.
We talked about this before, bro. I don't understand it either. I'm like, what's the point of being gay if you're gonna date a bitch that looks like a dude? I'm saying
you, because every lesbian I've ever known, the most gorgeous women, they'll go after these people who it's like, I'm Spike.
No, pretty ladies hit me up. Anyways, yeah, Spike.
I don't get it.
I remember you made that joke when we were in New York. Like, don't turn into a Spike. I was like, I won't. But anyways, he was like, oh, you should tell everybody, you should like come out. And I was like, bro, I don't want to do all that. Like, you're the only person that knows that's like in politics, people I met through politics or social media, it was like like 3 people that knew. And I felt so threatened because I really felt like I was going to get exposed some type of way. Like somebody was going to like post screenshots, or somebody from my past was going to be like, yeah, this bitch is gay. Like, I don't know why she's a conservative or whatever. So I really thought somebody was going to do all that. And that was kind of paranoid. I don't suspect anyone's trying to do that, but I just thought, I don't know. I was very paranoid about it. And I didn't want the backlash too. And oh my God, Magnus, it's a big homo party in here. Anyways, but yeah, so Mikey's like, no, fuck that. You gotta like live your best like bisexual life or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll go home and tell my mom. So I was in New York for like a week because we had a quarantine. And so I had been there for like a week. So I was like, okay, when I come home for this big trip, I'll sit my mom down and I'll tell her. And then I'll start small. I'll start from there. But that's not how it went at all. That's not how it went at all. No, dude, fuck you.
It's all my fault.
Oh, bro. That's really fucked up.
I didn't mean like come out tomorrow on national TV.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. That's what I was going to ask. Do you feel like you've gotten backlash?
Not the amount that I thought. I thought that a lot of conservatives, like the people that follow me, because I have a lot of like super religious people follow me, which is strange because I don't be ever posting anything religious. But I guess just there's an intersection of conservatives who are also very Christian, so that's fine. But I did expect more of a backlash from them, and I really didn't get one. Like I maybe blocked like 10 people. And when I have a large following, blocking only 10 people for my coming out post is like really good.
Yeah,
like, I was like, whoa. Only 10 homophobes? Like that's, and I mean, maybe if they are homophobes, they just like didn't want to say shit. Like if you don't like gay people, but you can shut the fuck up about it, like I have no issues with you, to be honest. But
hey, I feel like I have more in common with them because I'm like, I don't really like gay people, so we can have that in common.
Let me talk to you about bitches on Tinder, bro. Actually, let's
tell me because
let's wait till offline.
No, you gotta tell me now.
Okay, well, anyway, let me finish my story.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Okay, so the next day, I'm on the set in New York of Pause with Sam J. And if y'all don't know, Sam J is a lesbian woman, so it was already a safe space. I already felt like I was welcomed. It wasn't like, I know, safe space, whatever. But I already felt like I was in a space where I wouldn't be judged if the topic came up. But so far it wasn't coming up because the topic of the show was about Black conservatives. It wasn't about sexuality or sexual orientation or LGBT, nothing. However, towards the end of the show, Sam is just like, well, you know, as conservatives, where does my identity feel about that? How do you feel about like the LGBT community? Or I think she's like queer community or something, which I don't even use that term because I don't know. No. But, you know, I wasn't going to say
You're
shit.
not mentally
ill. Yeah, I wasn't about to say shit. But I was like, and then, you know, King, my co-star on the show, gave his answer. He was like, well, he gave a really straight up answer. He was like, well, because, you know, he runs the program, The X for Boys. So he runs a program just for boys. And he was like, well, if there's a boy in my program that likes the boys or thinks he's a girl, I don't really care. Like, they can still be in the program. Like, he really didn't have a deep opinion on it, which is good. I don't think most people should really, really care because it's kind of weird if you do care a lot. But I was like, I literally turned red. I felt my ears and my cheeks turning red. And she looked at me. She was like, what about you? And I was like, am I going to sit here and lie? Am I going to sit here and lie and be like, oh, yeah, I like gay people. I have a gay friend. My friend Mike is gay. Like, what do you want me to I was like, bro, what do I even say? And that's when I was like, well, I'm part of that community. So, and I have struggled with that in terms of my political identity and being bisexual, because of course there is going to be people on the right that are very, very against that. And there is going to be people on the left that think that you have to be on the left if you are not straight or whatever, if you're queer.
Oh God, no.
So yeah, so that's how it came out. And of course y'all saw the videos on my YouTube channel. I posted that clip of me coming out and then my commentary with it. But I did want to talk to Mikey about it because he is I don't want to say this and offend you, but you're a senior gay, you're a resident gay, you're like a gay veteran, like you've been around, you know, like I'm a baby gay. So what's your experience? Yeah, what's your experience being gay, being queer, in like politics on the right and the left.
From the right, they've been really kind of wonderful. I mean, I know that there are people who have had problems with them. I know it seems to me like it's sort of growing, this sort of people who are like further right, that are who are these sort of people who are like, gay people shouldn't be Republicans or shouldn't be conservatives, which, by the way, that's sort of one of these arguments that I feel like I wouldn't even know about if I wasn't on Tinder or Twitter, I mean.
You're horny as fuck. You get brain.
But yeah, that really just hasn't been my experience in reality. I think, you know, traveling the country for a whole year, doing speeches and talks and debates in front of mostly conservatives, I think the worst thing someone ever said to me was one time someone was like,
I don't know if I lost you, Mike, but I cannot hear you anymore. I don't know if I'm frozen or if you're frozen. Hold on. The comments saying are freeze. Am I frozen or is Mike frozen? He's frozen? Okay, I'm going to drop him out and bring him back in. Damn it! All right, Mike's frozen. All right. Is that going to work if I... Oh, now his camera's all off. Okay, well, oh, he's gone. Okay. I hope he joins, but he'll definitely either text me or join back in. But he's frozen with the best fucking face. I really wanted to hear his answer about because he cut off right before he said the worst thing that anyone ever said to him on the political campaign trail or whatever. Now I'm really awkward because I've never gone YouTube Live by myself. I don't know what to do to I don't know what to do to stall. Oh, here he is. Okay, thank God. Thank God. Thank God.
What the hell? My internet just went out. Like all the lights just flickered and some shit. So I'm on my phone. I'm sorry.
Oh, like, no problem. Okay, yeah. I thought I was frozen, and then I had the comment say, which one of us is frozen, guys? But they all said it was you.
This is so annoying. So I like switched internet companies because the last one was upcharging and price gouging me. But their service was great. So this one, the price is always the same, but this shit happens. So I'm not quite sure which is worse.
Okay, well,
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. You look fine. You fear. What am I trying to say? You look fine. I hear you fine. Okay. I wanted to hear because you cut off right when you said the worst thing that anybody ever said to you.
Oh, that's I think like the worst thing anyone ever said traveling so long and stuff is like one time somebody was like, oh, well, I don't agree with you, but I respect you. I'm like, okay, that's the worst thing someone said. I know.
Whatever. That's fine. I like that. To me, that statement is actually funny though, because I'm like, what is there to agree or disagree with?
Yeah.
I'm like, so, first of all, why do I need your agreement?
And you're like, whatever.
Yeah, I just find that funny because people are like, oh, well, I don't agree with your lifestyle. I'm like, lifestyle? Like, what do you think I do? What do you think we do?
No, but that's the thing is I think you kind of have to blame gay people in a way for that because it's sort of the difference between the sexual orientation versus the lifestyle of it because there are all these people who it is their lifestyle. They just eat being gay and breathe being gay and sleep being gay.
I do get that.
Entire personality.
I do get that, but when they meet somebody who's a conservative or like just anyone who clearly doesn't participate in that shit, and they're like, I still disagree with your lifestyle, but I respect your politics. I'm like, what do you think I do in my free time? Genuinely, I eat, I sleep, I shit. Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? That's different from you.
I kind of wish my life was more like what they think it is. Like, I got this.
It would be a lot more fun, but really degenerate, and I don't want to do it. But
I got this message once from some angry old lady that she was like, I am unfriending you today because I don't want to hear about all the orgies that you're going to. I was like, bitch, what the fuck orgies am I going? I'm like,
I was about to say, like, where are these orgies? Why are you not bringing me? What?
There are none.
I wanted to see. Somebody had a good comment.
Okay, wait, my internet is back. I'm gonna switch to my computer.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Here for a second. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. I hate this shit. Okay.
Sorry. You guys don't get Spectrum for your internet. They suck.
All right.
What were we saying?
Are you watching? I hear like playback noise. Is it video playing? I don't know. Maybe that's my mic. Okay. Anyways, I saw a good comment. Somebody said, "Hey Mike, what are your opinions on the right's take on Brandy Love, masculinity and femininity, and the general push for social conservatism in the GOP, especially after the Rick Grinnell versus Lauren Witzke fight?"
By the way, side note, can I just tell you? So, like, I'm getting banned from everything right now. So I was going through my Facebook friend list. From a lot, we're apparently friends on Facebook. Her and I.
Lauren Witzke
must have, like, friend requested me years ago, and I never noticed.
That's a little sus.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to unfriend because I'm like, there's some sort of narc here reporting all my shit. So.
Right, it's probably her. Every time she sees your orgy posts.
Okay, so wait. So one thing inside. Okay, so let's go with the porn star to start. So I kind of went back and forth on that a little bit. Like, so at first I thought it was that she was supposed to be some sort of speaker there. And I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of odd. But then when I found out she was just a person going, that's bullshit. Like, you know, what are you going to inspect the private lives of every single person there? I mean, you know, and they're like, oh, kids were there. Why would kids know who she is? You know, if they did, there are other things.
You know damn well why kids would know. Don't even play. You know damn well. But here's my thing. It's the Student Action Summit. Why are adults even there? Why is there a bar there? Why? I'm just saying, like, if it's a Student Action Summit, clearly it's marketed towards like college students, high school students. And y'all already know how I feel about Turning Point events. It is a big degenerate fest. That's what it is. I would not recommend you send your teenagers there. Teenagers are not safe there. That's what I've said. That's what I've told them to their face. I asked them, you know, I've called them before asking, what are your steps that you put in place to stop like adults giving like teenagers alcohol or drugs or, you know, sharing hotel rooms. And they said they were going to filter out adults from the student events. Clearly that is not the case. This call I had was back in like January or February. So clearly that was not the case, that they did not filter out adults from the events. Now, I also was confused. I mean, I did think she was a speaker at first. I was led to believe by a post that was pretty viral that she was a speaker at the Student Action Summit, which was not the case. However, her badge did have her stage name on it, so that was a little bit like weird. I was like, okay, I understand they're not going to dig into everybody's personal history.
What's her stage name though? Is it like
Brandy Love?
Sugar Tits McGee? Oh, that's it?
Yeah. And then it was weird because through all this, and I was, you know, looking at the Twitter drama about it, I realized she followed me on Twitter. And I was like, that's weird because yes, I do have a lot of libertarian leanings. That doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize things. So I do criticize the porn industry pretty frequently. I don't think porn is actually good for your mind, your brain chemistry. I think it fucks up like relationships and teenagers' brains that are still developing and stuff. That doesn't mean I want it to be illegal. I got accused of being like a trad because I criticized porn. I'm like, no, I don't want to throw Brandy Love in jail, bro. I just think it's not the best thing to push. But I was like, maybe I should follow her back. But then her top like pinned tweet was like of her genitalia. And I was like, yeah, that's nasty. So let me not do that.
Was it nasty? Or like, should we set you guys up?
No, bro. She's like 60.
She's 60? Wait, I don't think I've actually seen her.
No, she's not. That was mean. She's not. She's old. Okay. She's like twice my age. Anyways. So yeah, those are our thoughts on Brandy Love. What about the masculinity and femininity thing? I'm assuming
what I want to say about that though is I think, yeah, I love what you just said, because I think a lot of these people who are supposedly conservatives, or a lot of that, like, they don't seem to grasp the fact that you can be against something and criticize something without wanting it to be made illegal. I kind of go back and forth on this a little bit, because obviously I don't think porn should be banned, and it's, you know, obviously existed for a long time, and I don't think there have really been this level of problems with it as there is now. So for me, I think the really negative thing is the fact that it is just so omnipresent, and kids are being sexualized at ridiculously young ages everywhere they look.
It's going to be allowed on social media because on Twitter you only have to be 13 years old to make an account, but you're allowed to post uncensored nudity and pornography on Twitter. Yeah. So they clearly know that 13-year-olds are on there watching that shit. Like, I understand you can't regulate all these like porn sites that don't verify your age and stuff when you join or don't ask for whatever. But Twitter knows that they have underage people on there that are 13, between the ages of 13 and 18. I don't think they should be allowing porn on there. I don't like seeing porn whenever it's like somebody like retweets that shit or likes that shit on my timeline. I unfollow them because I'm like, why are you?
I like separation of church and state. Like, I don't want to.
I'm like, I don't want to watch porn on Twitter, bro. That's kind of gross. I'd be in public scrolling and I see porn. I'm like, bro.
You know what's really weird though is like, I think when we talk about the ways that it's affecting people, the last two guys that I was like sort of slightly involved with, and I could never be okay with this. One had an OnlyFans, one had a Twitter where he's posting like everything of it. So I think we sort of need to reconcile with
I feel like this is like so prominent in like the gay community. Because, yes, there's a lot of straight women that are on OnlyFans. It's probably the majority of the base. But there's a lot of gay bitches, a lot of gay dudes on OnlyFans. And it's like, it's just accepted. It's just accepted. And if you don't accept it, then you're like a control freak and you're insecure and you're a trad. I'm like, no, dude, you just probably shouldn't post your private parts on Twitter. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think it's just another sign of incredibly damaged people that we have an entire generation that are basically cosplaying as porn stars.
And I have said this before. I think it's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I feel like the push by older women who are my age or older to get like 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds to make OnlyFans when they're 18. Like as soon as you turn 18, oh girl, it's so easy. Yes. If you go on TikTok, if you go on like trending tweets, I see this all the time, but it's girls flexing their OnlyFans money or flexing their stripper money or flexing their prostitute money. And they're saying, oh, OnlyFans bought me an apartment. OnlyFans bought me a car. You know, OnlyFans makes me so rich. I have so many more followers. I feel so much happier. You know, when you turn 18, you should make an OnlyFans, girl. No, that's grooming, bro. You're grooming young girls and trying to flex like the OnlyFans porn star lifestyle is so sought after and so fabulous and so like rich and like luxurious when it's not.
I wish I didn't have morals. Like I really do, because like
I know, because guess what? I'd be cashing the fuck out. You know how many guys slide on my DMs are like asking to buy pictures just because I have a Twitter following? I'm like, dude, no, you're nasty.
Please, I get emails from people that are like, "Will you send me your socks in the mail for $100?" I'm like,
oh, no one's asking for that. That's a good one. Okay, dude, I'd sell my socks. I would sell my socks.
First of all, I have like, you know how people have a foot fetish? I have like a foot phobia. I'm disgusted by feet. So I
have cute socks. I wear weed socks all the time. I would sell those.
Place your bids now, fellas.
No, actually, don't place your bids in the comments. All right, let's move on. Go to the topic in the comments.
What was the next one? Masculine and feminine. So like with the push for all that, whatever, like I think my dream for the right or even like the non-left is for that there can be different views and that it would just be kind of inclusive of all different beliefs, because we really, I mean, look around you, look what the hell is happening over the last year. I mean, we really need to come together and fight the damn communists. But a lot of people like, look at even how all this shit with, Simone Biles, they would rather argue about Simone Biles for a week. And it's like, cool, well, you know, we have a goddamn communist takeover.
And you're making the right look like assholes.
And bent over for. But please, worry about this. Or worry about, gay marriage from a decade ago.
And they're making the right look like assholes. And they like to criticize the following athletes: Megan Rapinoe, Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, and Serena Williams. 3 of those are black women. 1 of those is a gay woman. I'm just like, you guys are going after people that the left is clearly going to latch onto, and they're clearly going to call you racist or sexist or homophobic for criticizing them. I'm not saying that you can't criticize a black woman or a gay woman without being a bigot, but when those are the people that you make a whole like Fox News segment about, Simone Biles, quitting the Olympics, or like, Naomi Osaka doesn't want to be a best score. Bro, I don't give a fuck, and I actually like them both. I really don't like Megan Rapinoe, but I do like.
I can't stand her.
Yeah, but it's like I'm not gonna make a big fucking thing about it.
But no, I just wish the energy that they've brought to talking about Simone Biles for the last week. I just wish that they would bring that same energy to fighting the communist takeover that is upon us.
Yeah,
and that's been a hard thing for me to reconcile with because I was such a passionate Trump supporter and stuff, and now kind of realizing about how not that I'm blaming him, of course, but communist takeover kind of happened on his watch.
Yeah, I feel similarly. I definitely feel similar. Like when I think back to when I was more strictly conservative and not conservatarian or whatever, I'm thinking I thought that being listening to these right-wing reactionaries that were talking about social non-issues like the Simone Biles thing and whatever the fuck was how we were going to beat the left. But we're really losing at their game when we play that game. So it's just really, it's not the best strategy. And in terms of masculinity versus femininity, traditionally, clearly I'm not traditionally feminine. I don't know. Clearly Mike is not traditionally masculine.
I totally disagree with that.
Okay, well,
I think that's the problem.
We clearly got Macho Man over here, but anyways.
Oh, fuck off. First of all, I think that's exactly the problem. This is what I was going to say, is that I think it's a big problem that young men are not even taught what actual meaningful masculinity is. They're only taught masculinity in the most superficial ways. It has nothing to do with how much football you watch or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I do feel that.
I'm not exactly G.I. Joe on the outside. However, I will kick anyone's damn ass when it comes to inner strength, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to having balls. So I don't think that it's just there's been, and a lot of the trads and whatever have had a lot to do with this for years, that there's such a ridiculous emphasis put on superficial, meaningless masculinity or what they can even the idea of internal masculinity is just totally left in the dust. And that's why we have so many weak men.
They'll post these ads from the 50s, be return to traditionalism, return to masculinity. I'm like, dude, you just posted an advertisement for Coca-Cola, and you want to is masculinity women not being able to have a bank account? Do you want to beat your wife? Why are we thinking about the 50s so much? Do you want segregation? I just really feel it's very odd when people are oh, back in the 50s, men were real men. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure spousal rape was legal in the time you're talking about. So I don't know about all that. But I do take issue sometimes with the definition of traditionally feminine because people will say, oh, I'm not feminine enough because I wrestle, because I'm strong, because whatever. I don't really know. And that's fine. I never claimed to be a traditional feminine woman, but I'm still a woman. You don't have to take away my femininity in general just because I do things that are historically male dominated, because it doesn't have to be like that.
Oh yeah. No, I feel the exact same way that people say the same thing about me because of how I dress, how I express myself. But I know who I am. I know that I can kick their ass any day of the week.
Yeah, that was a good comment, but let me read some other.
Also, who the hell is saying that to you?
It's random old men on Twitter. It's nobody in real life, to be honest. It's really nobody in real life.
Exactly. So that's the thing. I was banned from Twitter, and I just made another one the past couple months. But for the year or so that I was off Twitter, there's so many of these arguments and stuff that I would never even know about if I just wasn't on Twitter.
Yeah.
A lot of this is not really.
Oh, it's not real at all. Espan said, I believe everyone has masculinity and femininity. It's just one is more dominant than the other, depending on the person. I agree with that. I feel I do have masculine traits that I'm not really ashamed of. I'm not going to say that wrestling is the most feminine thing to do. It just doesn't take away my womanhood. But I do understand that, physical sports and combat sports is traditionally more masculine, and I'm okay with that. I'm cool with that. It's it's always creepy old dudes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep. My DMs are literally a mess. I had to turn off my Twitter DMs for the past month or 2 months, and it's been heaven, dude.
Really?
I have not thought about turning them on like once, because anyone who needs to contact me for like business or whatever, they'll find my email on like my LinkedIn or something. They don't need to be DMing me on Twitter.
See, my DMs are wide open.
I bet yours are wild though.
They're not. I'm very boring.
No, I really feel like straight men are creepy, right? I feel like old gay dudes are like even creepier.
Oh my god, they're horrible. They're horrible.
Okay, that's what I thought. I don't want to be like homophobic or whatever, but like,
no, be homophobic.
Dude, I read the comments on your post. I'm like, oh my god, fuck you! Why did you say that to him?
First of all, okay, so like this is my favorite text I've ever gotten. That you know how when somebody like a former friend who is a liberal will like make their announcement that they're gonna stop speaking to you and they're cutting you out of their life. So I got this text. This is a while back. I got this text.
It's funny because that's literally never happened to me. Really.
What?
I have had friends that like have like unfollowed me or blocked me or whatever, but nobody has texted me or posted being like, I am done being your friend. Like no one's.
Yeah, usually they just ghost. Yeah, but this one girl, she sent me this text that was like, I'm never speaking to you again. You are a racist, sexist, homophobic asshole. And so I wrote back, I couldn't help myself. I was like, I assure you, only homophobic is true.
Straight? I'm confused. Why would she say you're homophobic?
I mean, that's the most accurate because I kind of am. But
I know. You literally hate gay people more than like any like fundamentalist Christian, which I find very hilarious.
They're just horrible. No, I mean, not like my friends and stuff. And obviously, you know, I hope to meet one that is not insufferable. But it goes back to what you were saying about the lifestyle versus individuality. You know? Yeah. It's like these people who exist in this world where it's like they have to, you know, just conform to every stereotype and have even down to the little things, they all listen to the same music. They all have their same acceptably gay interests. And like, it's just.
That's so true. Daniel said, what's the difference between womanhood and femininity? I guess the way I think of it is my womanhood, you can't take away from me because I'll always be a woman. Like, even if I'm not the most feminine, I'll always be a woman. And femininity is just like what I mean, like in the traditional sense, like being a traditional feminine woman, cooking, cleaning, wearing makeup, which I do. They also don't wrestle. So that's another thing. Because I don't put a lot of emphasis on femininity these days because it just, what am I going to do? Like try to appease trads on Twitter? Like that shit doesn't matter in real life.
No.
Like I know
who you a lot of shit about this in real life? Have people given you a lot of shit about this in real life?
No.
Oh, good.
It's just
creepy. I was going to say, like, you know, I'm speaking for everyone watching who knows this, that you are fucking gorgeous and amazing and a queen. So don't let anybody fucking tell you that. It's ridiculous.
I'm happy. Thank you.
The truth.
I appreciate it.
No, people just have these very narrow-minded definitions of masculinity and femininity.
Yeah, like you said, like being a man isn't just like watching football. Like it's more about your morals. It's more about your morals. Like if I had to define femininity for myself, I'd be like, are you nurturing? Are you caring? You know, are you kind? Like there are traits that women specifically have, like, you know, they're just better at, but I wouldn't say it comes down to being like submissive or just whatever, which I'm not.
And you know, a lot of those guys, I've seen this firsthand, a lot of those guys who make a big showing of all of this superficial masculinity, a lot of times they're the weakest damn people of all, you know?
Also on the DL for sure.
Oh,
that's so nice, Brooke. Thank you. Olivia, you're my hero. I'm a woman who was the top scorer in my fantasy football league, and the boys besides my husband threatened to not participate anymore because they assumed I cheated. That's bullshit. I really hate that. And, you know, being a wrestler in high school, I was on the boys team, and you know, I learned a lot from that. It was definitely a learning experience, and I don't regret anything about it. Like I would do it again. However, I had some haters out there that thought just because I was a girl and because I was winning and because I was good, they thought that the guys were just going easy on me because I had a crush on me or whatever. First of all, I'll say this. I was ugly as fuck in high school. I promise nobody had a fucking crush on me. Second of all, nobody wants to lose to a girl in front of their whole team with their whole like crowd and the cheerleaders cheering for them. Nobody wants to do that, even if it's just to be nice to the girl. Nobody would want to do that. If anything, I feel like the boys wrestled me harder and try to hurt me and would even do illegal moves and stuff because they didn't want to lose to a girl that badly. Now, that was all moot because I'm a badass. I kicked everybody's ass. Not really. I was good though. But yeah, it's just people always assume that because you're a girl, you're a cheater, or that everyone's taking it easy on you, and that really sucks. So I can totally relate to that.
That's ridiculous. Wait, I have a question for you. Let me know if this is like too much information. So have you like kind of started dating the ladies yet? Do you have any like thing to? I'm interested in knowing if they're as horrible as gay guys are.
Nah, I haven't. I mean, in the past I did, but not since coming out.
We're hitting the town. I want a wingman for you.
Oh my god!
Even though lesbians kind of hate me usually, like they just grunt at me and.
Lesbians hate me too, dude. That's right.
Yeah, gay guys fucking hate me. So.
Like literally, you know, back in the day, I'm really not on it anymore. But back in the day when I was on like lesbian Tinder or whatever, and all the little apps, if you, like first of all. Tinder? Well, like you can search for only women on there. Like you can switch it, and there actually is like a couple apps that are specifically for women. However, I will say this: like half of them are trans women, like half of them are biological men.
Same on like Tinder and shit.
Really? I'm like it's so weird because I feel like there's an app that you could go on to that's different, or I feel like you should be able to search through. I know it sounds bad to say, but
no, it doesn't. I agree with you.
I wish you could, like, if you're into trans women, if that's your thing, you should be able to search specifically for that. But I don't think it should be in the women category because it's just like I don't want to be scrolling through and see fucking like Josh who has a beard and a wig. I'm like, bro.
It's about
like just because I'm bi doesn't mean I'll date anything, dude. It's horrible on there. And then the biological women who are actually women, they all are like, you know, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, girl boss, ACAB, Antifa, communist.
I can't.
And I'm like, what? And I literally, they're all like that. Or, okay, there's three options. A literal man, like a biological man with a wig, leftist, or hot girl. And then you scroll through her profile and realize that she has a boyfriend and she was looking for a third. So I'm like, So those are the options on lesbian Tinder. I'm not with it. So yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually got banned from Tinder.
It's so funny.
For people watching, for some reason, I get banned from everything. I just got banned from Instagram. Follow my new one, by the way. But so I got banned literally for having my picture at the White House at the RNC. Really? So I like bitched at them and I got it undone. Big mistake. I should have just stayed banned from there because oh my god.
Just as bad.
I can't. It's a train wreck. They're all and here's another thing. I'm sorry, but like again, internal masculinity, all that. However, why does every guy on every dating app just look like an ad for low testosterone? Like you have to see these pictures that they're literally just standing there like this. They're standing there like this with their hand like this.
Is that not how you stand normally?
Fuck out.
I'll see myself out. No, but I get it because obviously I haven't been on gay guy Tinder, but I can imagine that. That's what I've heard before from other gay dudes, and I'm just like, I think we should just go back to straight. I'll date you. We don't have to deal with.
I'm so down. I'm so down. No, you know what they all look like? So, like, I've had it happen a couple times that, like, if I'm on a date with someone or whatever, I'll, like, kind of, like, jokingly punch them in the arm or something. And if a guy this has happened a couple times, the guy will be like, "Oh, it really hurt. You're really mean."
Okay, now I'm a try.
And they all look like they're gonna do that.
Come back. We need masculinity to come back. I'm tried now.
I know. Me too. They're turning me like total.
Montana said, "Do you like?"
Hey, Montana.
Just kidding. I like anybody at this point. I'm forever alone. And I'm not gonna go into great detail because I don't want to talk shit about this dude, but like
Is that what I think?
Huh?
Go on.
Well, it's what I already told you about. It's what I already told you about. But like the last dude that I was dating, he really did me dirty. I don't know if there's any coming back from that. So I've been like, okay, well, am I just gonna be alone? Am I gonna try to date women? Blah 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 blah. And like I honestly just want to be alone right now, just because I know I'm not healed yet or whatever, so that really sucks for me.
You deserve way better, is all I'll say.
Thank you so much. I really do. Like, if y'all in the comment, I'm really not trying to air this dude out. I'm really not trying to air this dude
out. Air it out.
No, I can't. I'm a good person. I'm a good person.
I'm not, so.
I'm trying to heal. But I told Mikey like the gist of the story, and Mikey was like, "Yeah, he got to go." Yeah. And it was funny. I have 2 missed calls from him. He just called me when we were on live, but I declined it. So
good. Keep declining it. Please. Hi, if you're watching.
No, he's not. I promise. But I told Mikey I was gonna let him grovel for like a couple months, and then we'll take it from there. But
no, don't take it from there.
I'm really not trying to.
You're Olivia.
Join the totally undateable gang live. Yeah, that's true. It's funny because people think because I have followers, I'm like a whore, or like I have like my DMs are like flooded and busting open, and I'm like, going out on dates all the time. I'm really not.
Same.
Really not at all.
Come
and I don't want to be one of those people that blames the fact that they have no luck in relationships on the fact that like everyone's a liberal these days. Like I just can't relate to anybody because that makes you sound like an asshole. Because like maybe it's just you, but no. At least for gay people, it is true. At least for us, I feel like that is true.
With me, it's both. Like.
Yeah, we're
insufferable, and also I'm not a liberal. So
like,
it's
dude,
2 things going on.
Alphabet Mafia. Let's fucking talk about it because not only are they insufferably leftist, there's this huge push, which people think is a right-wing conspiracy theory, but there's this huge push where there's like drag kids and trans kids and drag queen story hour, and there's drag queens on Nickelodeon now, and I'm like, for people who keep saying that we don't want to turn your kids trans or whatever, y'all seem like you really want to do it. And it really disgusts me. And I'm not one of those people that's like, just keep it in the bedroom, because clearly I'm not one of those people. But keep it away from kids. I don't want, like, the same way I wouldn't want a half-naked woman dancing in front of kids. That's the same way I don't want a drag queen dancing in front of kids. It's the same shit. It's not about them being gay. It's the fact that they're introducing sexually explicit content to children. It's fucking horrible.
I'm sorry, but first of all, I mean, it's part of such an overriding agenda. Like we can all see it. So, if it were just something about like, promoting tolerance or whatever, I don't think most of us would have a problem with it. Like, when I was a little kid, this is how I learned what gay was. We were watching The Nanny when I was a kid with my parents, and they said something about gay, and I was like, what's that? And they were literally like, some boys like boys, some girls like girls. Some people don't like that. We accept everyone here, and this is of no concern to you until you are older. That is all kids need to know. So if they were just doing that, I would have no problem with it. But God, there's so much to get into with this because I think so. I don't know. For me, I think it's all about that. This is just their current vehicle of kind of indoctrinating people into this leftist ideology. This has always been, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, the alphabet industry. So in my opinion, the reason that they're focusing so much on kids and on gender in particular is because it's really only like 5% of the population that's gay or which is tragic for us. However,
because people are always like, why do bi people always end up like, why do bi girls always end up like marrying a man? I'm like, well, how many other lesbians are there out there, dude? It's not like there's a lot to choose from. So it's just more convenient. It's more convenient to be straight.
But the thing is, it's sort of, this industry expanding their market share. It's their business strategy, because if they just stuck to gay people or transgender people, that's 5% of the population. But everybody has a gender. So now everybody has
pronouns. Everybody,
puts their hand in every cookie jar.
Straight women. It's straight women that have pronouns in their bio, dude.
But this puts them in every classroom. It puts them in every part of your life. They have inserted themselves into the most basic things: classrooms, bathrooms, prisons, textbooks, everything. They just want to have their hand in that cookie jar.
It's so disgusting. It's really disgusting because I do understand what some people are saying. Oh, well, people are pushed to be straight from a young age, and that's true. I definitely was. That was definitely like hammered into me from a kid. I grew up in a religious family, but that doesn't mean I have to go that was wrong. That was wrong for my, parents and like people to be like, there's no other option than being straight. Like that's wrong. But the response to that isn't to send drag queens to your kid's school and teach them how to twerk. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's so sick. And I think what bothers me the most about it is that, first of all, don't push kids to be anything. To me, there is no greater evil than pushing any sort of ideology on kids. Don't push them to be straight. Don't push them to be gay. Leave them the hell alone. And you know what's funny, by the way, is I don't even like kids. I find them annoying. So if it bothers me so much, I'm like, where are all the people who actually care about kids?
The one thing I'm trying about is like I want to be a mom like so bad. I used to not want to be one until like 3 years ago, until I was probably like 17 or 18, and I was like, oh my god, like I love kids so much. I love them. So I just had to interject. Go on.
No, I'm just saying, if this bothers me so much, where are like all the groups for the rights of children and stuff? Nowhere to be found.
But that's like a right-wing conspiracy theory. If you say that there are certain we'll say queer groups, because it's not gay people. It's like the queer groups.
Exactly.
Or the Alphabet Mafia, as this video is titled. But it's the queer and Alphabet Mafia groups that are really trying to do this, and they're making their way into the education system. They're making their way into like literally every facet of media that is geared towards children, and I find it disgusting. That's it.
Well, and especially, you know, it's given such validity to every claim.
Because exactly like you were saying earlier, when people are like, well, I don't agree with your lifestyle, and I'm like, what the fuck is that lifestyle? But this is
the lifestyle that they push.
This is what people are looking at, because when they go on TV and they see drag queens dancing and twerking for their kids, they're like, well, that lifestyle, I don't want that lifestyle.
And it goes back to what we were talking about before about some of these tradcons and whatever that like just want to cast all gay people and all whoever into this box, and it's like we are every bit as much against this shit as you are.
That's what Lauren Witzke did. I think she's a complete idiot. She tweeted back and forth with her supposed friend Scott Pressler, who I love very much, and she was basically saying, well, gay people do not belong in the GOP. All that's going to do is make more people vote Democrat, because obviously it's going to make gay people vote Democrat that weren't already. I'm going to make more moderates like myself being like, well, fuck it then. Like, if y'all are not supporting like gay marriage and shit, like, let me leave. And Scott Pressler was like, well, Lauren, we're friends. I'm gay. I'm a Republican activist who has registered thousands of voters and gotten thousands of votes across the country.
Done more than any person like her could dream of doing in a lifetime.
I'm like, the math is not mathing. It's not adding up. And then she was like, well, Scott, you were talking shit about me and you ignored me. And he's like, what does that have to do with me being gay? Like, what? Like, she's completely fake.
Here's the important point about her. And I think this is a problem on the right, which, look, I guess this applies to me too. I gotta point the finger at myself, is that it seems like there are all of these random people on the right that I don't know why anyone listens to them. Like, who is she? Who is she? Why do people listen to this person? She ran for office. Why the hell would anyone listen to what I have to say?
She ran for office as like an extreme, like traditionalist, like America First candidate or whatever. It turns out that she was a former drug runner. She is a felon and tried to change her life around. And I'm like, dude,
hey, I respect that part.
I do respect that, but she's judging people like you have nothing to be judged for. And I don't judge people who are involved in drug running or selling drugs, whatever. People can change their lives. Addicts can't.
Unless they change.
Right. But it's like you did something way, way worse. You did something way, way worse and very illegal, might I add, than just being gay. So I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
What I was going to say is this, though, is that, like, yes, she ran for office. What was the outcome of that election? So her idea of what the right should be is a proven loser. She is literally a loser. So why should anyone listen to her? Why should this be the vision that the right applies?
Sky's out here winning elections. Sky's out here running people's elections and winning elections. Yep. And she can't do shit. I love Magnus. That's my fucking problem. Liv knows. I've told her how I get to the second date and they Google me and fucking wig out. If y'all don't know Magnus, he's a boogaloo boy. He's a boogaloo boy. So I'm so excited to meet him because I'm going to Orlando for Young Americans for Liberty Revolution in like 4 days.
That's awesome.
Magnus, are you gay or bi? I don't even feel like I ever got a straight answer out of you. I know you're a big fucking homo, but I don't really know the logistics of that.
No, you know what the problem is with me? I got doxxed a while ago, so they'll Google my phone number. I don't even get to the second. I'm lucky if I get to the first. So it's like I'll meet someone and we're talking on the phone.
Somebody posted your phone number online?
What's that?
Somebody posted your phone number?
Phone number, address, everything.
That's crazy.
So they just Google my phone. I've been trying for like a year to get it taken down. They just Google my number and everything comes up. And
that's fucked up, man.
You know what I've learned though, and I've learned this the hard way because it's happened so many times that like I'll really like someone and then like I wait a little bit to tell them and then they act how they act.
That's why I only like really talk to people through politics now. Like my last boyfriend I met through politics. He really did me fucking dirty. I don't know what's going on with that, but I just meet people through politics because they already know. It's not the elephant in the room or whatever.
That's why I think though, if you don't meet someone through politics, tell them immediately, because if they're going to have a negative reaction, they're going to have a negative reaction. So at least do it before.
Why would you hide it? Like you can't hide it. Even if
for me, it's like I've always felt like I'm like, get to know me before you hate me. Like
if they're that rabid, they're gonna hate you either way. So it's like worth it. Magnus said you'll never get a straight answer out of me. You know what? I don't find that funny. I really actually want to know. So fuck you. Lauren is extremely homophobic. I remember her. Yeah, she seems like a hateful person. I don't know who hurt her. I don't know if a gay dude stole her man or something.
Probably wouldn't surprise me.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
But the thing that bothers me about her and people like that is like, I had one or two of them tweeting at me a while ago and they're like, sodomite. I'm like, first of all, that word literally means any sex that is not for procreation. So by literal definition, about 99.9% of people are sodomites. But they don't. They are as collectivist as leftists are, because they don't put any stock into individual behavior. It's all about, because for all they know, I could be a virgin sitting at home at night, and come on, at this point, like I almost am. Or you could be the biggest degenerate whore in the world, and they don't care.
I know. I'm like, dude, let's be real. If you voted for Trump and you're one of those people talking about sodomite, degenerate, I'm like, dude had 3 different baby mamas.
Thank you.
And
I will never understand.
You're not trad if you're supporting that, which I don't know about, because people should be able to, have sex, whatever. I'm not trad, but if you are trad and you're defending Trump and calling other people degenerate, then shut the fuck up. Okay, so Magnus, you clocked yourself. Now I know you're bi because you said her in this comment, so you clocked yourself. But he said that's what I did with my date 2 days ago, hour, and I told her to Google me. Date ended very quickly. That's okay, Magnus. I already know who you are.
Women, gay guys are worse.
Do they Google? Have you ever been Googled like right in front of you before?
I think that happened once, but I don't remember the context. But it's always like it'll be beforehand. Like you can always tell. Not just that, but you can always tell when someone said something. So this last guy I really liked, we had this very long date, and I told him maybe like 3/4 of the way through it, and he was super cool and all that. And then about 2 weeks later, suddenly it starts getting brought up every day, and I could see that his friends were looking at my social media. So you always know when that one bitch friend of theirs said something, like, how could you know that person,
Yeah. That's why I've messed around on Tinder or whatever, and then I just decided, hey, it's not for me, because I feel like people in general, not just me, are deeper than their profile picture on Tinder, or deeper than like the 12 words in their bio. Like, you're not going to make a connection that is genuine on there, I don't think. So, yeah. And contrary to popular belief, I'm not a complete whore. I think my virginity grew back at this point. So
Same.
I don't really be on the apps like that.
No, Sam. That's terrible.
It's so terrible.
That's the thing, though, is like I'm sort of like somewhere in between trad gay and degenerate whore.
Yeah, I'm not going to air you out, but I agree with that assessment. I want to talk, before we get off, because we're almost an hour, I want to talk about your channel and walkaway stuff. So do you still do stuff with walkaway? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if they were like on a pause or on a hold because of the whole Brandon Straka being arrested by the federal government thing, but yeah.
Oh, that.
just that little detail.
We love you in Walkaway, by the way. We're always saying how amazing you are.
Thank you. I really love you guys. I really love you guys because y'all really don't care that not everybody is a Republican or not everybody has the same opinions and blah, 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 blah. But Brandon gave me opportunities to speak before, you know, flew me out to Chicago where I met you for the first time. And of course I met you through Walkaway stuff. So I love him. That's great.
Yeah, so yeah, it kind of has been on a break for this year, but they're relaunching in a big way in about a month or two. Hopefully all of his stuff will be behind us all very soon. It's ridiculous. It's, you know, I just as my friend, I just am really looking forward to the time that he's able to speak for himself and address all of the ridiculous, insane lies that have been printed about him. And that's going to be very soon. So yeah, no, Walkaway is coming back in a big way. So what they've been doing is because they got banned from everything, even like payment processors, PayPal, Stripe, every single one. So they've spent the past year not only building their own platforms, but literally building their own payment processors. So I think going forward, Walkaway is kind of going to be an example to all of these right-leaning people who don't do anything, who just kind of complain or like, oh no, I got banned. And then they just fade away.
And then they sit on Twitter and make fun of campaigns like Walkaway, like, oh, y'all are focusing too much on like gay people or black people or minorities. I'm like, okay, well, they're actually doing something. So unless you're doing something different, shut the fuck up.
And sorry, but it's like people like us that have to pick up the slack for 30, 40 years of Republicans ignoring entire groups of people.
Literally.
Which, by the way, speaking of which, being a Republican. Wait, so I know you're a libertarian. So, like, do you consider?
I'm an independent. I am independent. You know what?
I am too on the inside, but I'm going to vote for the non-communists.
The Libertarian Party Mises Caucus keeps tweeting at me to join their caucus.
No. Oh, come on. What do we need with this aggravation? Like, let's just get one functional party first.
Okay, you're done.
What?
Sorry, you were frozen. I
said, like, what do you need with this aggravation? Like, can we try to just get the damn Republican Party functional before we worry about other freaking parties? Like,
I don't know, because here's my opinion on it. I'm one of those people that doesn't care if people split the Republican vote by voting third party, because I feel like it sends a message to the Republicans that they have to get more libertarian, because I'm not going to vote for a Republican that doesn't support like weed decriminalization at the very least. You know, I'm not going to vote for a Republican that doesn't support lowering taxes. Like, I would vote for a Thomas Massie Republican. I'd vote for a Rand Paul Republican, but I'm not going to vote for like a fucking like Mitch McConnell Republican. Like, I don't know.
No.
And I feel like too many of them are like that. So I really can't register as a party right now. Right now, I'm working on an independent campaign here in Maryland. It's the first non-Republican campaign I've worked on. So it's not like I haven't worked for Republicans in the past, but I've worked for the very few that I can actually stomach working for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. I'm an independent on the inside, but for me, I think like I kind of just want us to all take over the Republican Party.
I would love that. But I will say this. I would like to grow the LP and take over the Republican Party. If we could do that at the same time, if I could remain as an independent and influence things in both parties, I would like to do that. Because, you know, I like working political strategy and all that kind of stuff. So I don't like to be tied down in that regard. That makes me really sound like a whore, but that's not what Montana said, how did Bernie get arrested? I'm so shocked. So the feds got him after January 6th. They were trying to say that he was inciting a riot, which he speak there. And he did, but not once was he telling people to like rush into the building or
he did not go into the building.
Yeah, he's completely innocent. And I've been in contact with him. Of course, Mikey's been in contact with him for the past few months since January. And he did tell me that he's hopeful, but it is stressful and he just wants to put it behind him. But they really don't have like concrete proof. They just kind of use him as a scapegoat. So
yeah. And the thing is, you know, obviously when I first found out about what happened, I was like, okay, let me look, you know, let me try to step outside of myself and look at everything objectively and look at the evidence. And in my opinion, the thing that sounds the most damaging against him that they claim to have, where there's a video where they claim that he's saying to take a police officer's shield. So I was like, okay, let me listen to this. It is so. There is no way that
his voice, right?
The person saying it has a thick accent. There is no way that any honest person could hear this and think it's Brandon. And I can't wait until the time comes where he can have like audio experts and vocal experts examine the tape and see. Even you can hear his voice is coming out when he was speaking, saying whatever is coming out of one side of the speaker. The person who said take the shield is coming out of the other side. So, you know, the whole thing is so outrageous, but it's going to be behind.
They're like literally they're trying to pick like exactly. Somebody said, you're making waves when the feds are coming from. Exactly. Like he is so influential that the feds were like, let's take his movement down. Let's take Walkway down. Let's take Brandon Straka down and set him up essentially. But if you're a public figure like that, you're really stupid if you're telling people to take a shield from a police officer. Like Brandon would never do that. So
he would never do the public-private. He would just never do that. Period. You know.
Yeah.
So no, the truth will come out very shortly.
The truth will come out. I like that. We're sounding like conspiracy theorists right now, but it is true. But it is true. It's a complete like setup scapegoat situation. Brandon's a good guy. He would just never do anything like that. So
no, and he literally didn't do anything. So it's scary what that says about. Because the thing is, I wasn't there, but I could totally see a situation where if I was there, I wouldn't have thought anything of it after we'd seen 6 months of cities burning. I wouldn't have thought that it would have been such a big deal. I would have, out of ignorance, probably been standing right where he was.
So, I mean, it was basically wrong place, wrong time, but there was thousands of people there. And of course, he's the one being scapegoated. Fortunately, though, he's not rotting away into prison like a lot of people are that actually went into the Capitol. That's actually very bad because we don't see the same treatment that anyone who burned down buildings and stuff during the Black Lives Matter and Antifa riots happening last year. And yes, it's federal property. I understand that, but no damage came to anybody working there. Like they didn't injure any congressmen. They didn't burn anything down. I just feel like this whole thing is overkill. If you're holding people without bail, with inadequate food, water, and just in a little because they're in solitary confinement. So it sucks. Excuse me. That really sucks.
It's so terrible. And the thing is, and like we were just talking about, the Republican Party is so damn useless. I mean, do you see one of them advocating on behalf of the people who are rotting away in jail right now? Americans who are being held political prisoners? No, because they'll get written off as an insurrectionist terrorist or whatever. But what they should be doing is just being consistent, saying, hey, people don't deserve to be held without bail. People don't deserve to be held in solitary confinement. Their crime, breaking and entering into a federal building, yeah, I get it. I called it unscheduled tour because it could have been a lot worse compared to all the Antifa riots, burning down the CVS, burning down the KFC and all that kind of stuff, breaking down small Black-owned businesses in the name of Black Lives Matter. So to me, that was 100 times, a million times worse than what this was. But apparently it's okay to hold people in prison and torture them essentially if they're a white Republican. So that's it. And from my understanding of it, there were a handful of people who did some bad things. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who there are no real charges. There's no. Yeah, if you're physically assaulting people, I understand that. If you're physically assaulting people, but like that's not what a lot of this is. Like Ashley Babbitt was just, I think she was trying to get into a window or something. She never like physically assaulted people, and she's dead. So. No, and I got into a fight about this with, I went on the most miserable date ever with this liberal like a week ago. I made a video about the story if you guys want to watch. It's on my channel. But and I got into a fight about this with him. He's like, oh, so you support police brutality. And I was like, no, I'm totally against police brutality on all sides. Like Ashley Babbitt should not have been murdered. And there are a lot of instances like, do you remember that guy Philando Castile? I think that was like, probably the worst instance of police brutality that kind of got swept under the rug a little bit. Like he was never made out to be this martyr that George Floyd was or anything, but I think and it was crazy. And I criticized this, like the NRA was silent on him, even though he has a law-abiding citizen, was legally carrying a gun, told the officer that he was legally carrying a gun, and got shot. So it's like,
right in front of his girlfriend and his child, I think. So it was just like a horrible situation.
There was this woman maybe 2 or 3 years back. I believe her name was Suwatu Ray, this black woman who was arrested for, I'm trying to remember the details, but like she had a stalker, she had a legal firearm, and she basically threatened him away. He was stalking her and her family. She was in the car with her kids. He was chasing her. And she never fired a bullet. Nobody was harmed. She like held the gun up to him and made him leave. She was thrown in prison for like a ridiculous sentence. And for the longest time that I felt, I'm like,
just threatening her stalker with a gun for her own safety.
In front of her child, the stalker was coming after her with her child there. And for the longest time I was thinking, why is this woman not the face of the NRA? Why are there not a million Second Amendment marches in support of her? And it's because the right is just so damn feckless. They're just so useless.
They're feckless, and like, you know, the Democrats feel like the only guns we need are hunting rifles, you know, just a nice, you know, dad and his kid out on Sunday morning hunting for deer or whatever. And the NRA does nothing to like go against that. They only want people like that as the face of the NRA. They don't want a Philando Castile. They don't want a lady like you were saying, somebody who is just somebody who owns a gun to protect themselves. They don't really want that. And, you know, the NRA does have a racist history. I don't know what they're doing today, but it's like a thing where we as, I shouldn't say Republicans, but we on the right are putting these organizations up, these huge lobby groups like the NRA on a pedestal because we feel like they're protecting our gun rights. They aren't. The NRA constantly compromises on the Second Amendment, like all the time. Wayne LaPierre, who I believe is not the CEO, but like the chair of the NRA currently, he was at CPAC last year talking about, we have enough gun control laws on the books. The Democrats should just stop making them. Okay, so you're saying that the complete gun bans in certain cities, like I can't have a gun in DC, you can't have a gun in New York, like the complete gun bans in certain cities, that's enough? You don't want to roll that back at all? You're not going to fight back at all? You're just telling the Democrats, please stop passing these gun laws, but you're not going to fight back against it?
That's like on every issue. No, let me tell you. So I'm in New York. A couple years back, I had a stalker who like illegally had a gun, was like sending dead animals to my house. So at the time, I applied for my firearm permit. And in New York, they say that you need a reason other than
like having a stalker or being in danger.
Yeah. So they literally told me, I got denied. They literally told me that's not a good enough reason. So, and Republicans
they expect a criminal to follow the law and expect a criminal to go through the process of getting a legally owned gun. Like, no, dude. Exactly. Liz said the gun in the hands of a woman is the great equalizer. If I ever had a stalker, thank God I don't think I do. If I do, I don't know about it. That would really be horrible. But if I ever get into a fight or have a stalker or try to get mugged or abducted, I would love to carry a handgun. Unfortunately, in Maryland, you have to be 21 to carry a handgun, so I cannot legally do that. But of course, a criminal doesn't give a fuck about legality. If somebody's going to rape me or kidnap me, they clearly don't give a fuck about legality. So that's why this whole thing is bullshit.
Well, that was really the thing, because, you know, I used to be a liberal, so I used to be, you know, stupid anti-gun person. But this was really the thing, even before I was a Republican, that totally showed me why we have the Second Amendment, because it took me a good month of having to go to the cops over and over and over with this stalker before he was arrested. So it occurred to me then when like that whole period that I was going through it, I'm like, these people are doing nothing. What do I do if he shows up here with his gun that he has illegally, and they wouldn't even do anything for a month? So, I mean, that really showed me why we have the Second Amendment.
Yeah, it's like, it really blows my mind, like the cognitive dissonance that liberals have when they talk about it. Now, this is a point that I'll give to the leftists. A lot of leftists, like true leftists, not neoliberals, actually are for gun rights because Karl Marx likes guns. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then again, y'all are going around being Antifa or whatever. But again, Magnus Pan Video, who was in the chat, he's a boog boy. He is pretty left wing. He's a big homo. Oh, wow. He carries a big ass fucking rifle everywhere he goes, and he is completely against all the Democrats who are trying to ban guns. So, yeah, maybe y'all should talk. I don't know. He's kind of cute. He's kind of cute. But yeah, I do have pepper spray. I do have a taser. I do have knives and stuff. So I am relatively safe. But again, like a knife is nothing compared to a gun, which a criminal is going to have.
You know, it's funny. Pepper spray is illegal in New York. There's no.
What can you carry? What can you carry?
I asked that. So years ago, I was living in this horrible neighborhood in Brooklyn. It was the only time my whole life in New York was the only time I've ever had a problem. I got like mugged and robbed. So when I was at the cops, I was like, I just said in passing, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get pepper spray or something. They're like, no, you can't. It's illegal. So I said to them, I was like, okay, so if like 3 dudes who are twice my size come up behind me, like, what am I supposed to do? They're like, I'm like, what form of self-defense is legal? They're like, well, you could have a whistle. I'm like, yeah, why don't you just take my balls and carry them around? I'm gonna walk around with a fucking whistle and start blowing a whistle. I'd rather get murdered. Wait, let me tell you this up. So after that, my dad has a friend who's a cop that gave him pepper spray. So he's like, here, take pepper spray, carry it around with you. So I did for a little bit. So I was like carrying it around in my back pocket, and I went on a date this one night. So we're sitting at this bar having a good time, laughing. Suddenly something feels like really hot. And then I realized it was leaking.
You sprayed your balls.
I pepper sprayed my ass. How am I single?
Well, I don't want to get TMI there, but how did you take care of that situation?
I literally went in the bathroom and was like splashing cold water on my ass.
Well, that honestly, you gave me something to be worried about. I don't know. I usually have pepper spray, and it looks like makeup. I think it's in here. Okay, so this is my pepper spray. It looks like a lipstick or a mascara or something pretty inconspicuous. I'll try to find the link. It's off of Amazon. It's called Mace.
I'm gonna get that.
But like it literally looks like makeup. Let me not spray myself. And that's just what it looks like.
Is this your like Jessica Yaniv moment?
Oh my god. Yeah, Jessica Yaniv type beat. Her mom follows me on Twitter. I find that very strange.
The mom with the walker?
Jessica Yaniv's mother follows me on Twitter. At least last time I checked. I don't know if she got banned or whatever. I haven't seen her post in a really long time, but she follows her. She had a private account, which is also very weird. But I recognize because I used to follow Jessica Yaniv before he got banned.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's not a real trans woman.
Oh, he got banned?
I think he got banned, but I realized that he was following her, and it was like the same name as the mom or whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, that's the mom. But yeah, I
just remember that video of them like attacking some guy with an umbrella. I'm like, oh, you're so feminine.
Aiden said, I want to see Olivia do a makeup tutorial style videos where she shows off my. I have a bunch of cute weapons that look cute. This is just the one that I like the most because it literally doesn't look like mace at all, so you can carry it in public and nobody's gonna think about it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, in New York, I think Republicans are so useless. I think in New York, there could have been such an opportunity this past year, and even now, because they're getting ready to lock up again. There could have been.
I'm not complying with that shit this time, because obviously in the first like 2-3 months of COVID last year, everyone was scared shitless. I know I was.
Me too.
I was going to the store. I was like religiously like wash my hands like 5 times after I came back from the grocery store or whatever. And I still do. Like I like the good habits that people wash their hands more. However, I'm not gonna do that whole social distancing thing, freaking out if I'm like next to somebody, like freaking
over my dead body
outside without like fuck no. Honestly, when I saw you in New York, you were the only person not wearing a mask. I was so scared.
Hell no.
I literally thought like New York was like a communist state and we were gonna get like stopped in the street because you didn't want to wear a mask.
They don't. Well, so for me, I just made the decision. I will never put that thing on my face again as long as I live. I'll do it on airplanes because I don't know an alternative to that. Somebody make an airline where we're not forced to. So other than airplanes, I will never put that thing on my face again. And I hope that people will refuse to do that too, because everyone loves to say, oh, private business, they can do whatever they want. Sure. However, if enough people would stand up against this and there would be a cost to their business where they would lose money by requiring masks, this would have been done with already. But
yeah, I tried to stop wearing it on the metro here in DC, and I've done it like most of the time. But sometimes people tell me to put it on, or else I can't ride.
I'm gonna go fuck themselves.
Well, I have to go home sometimes, you know, like I have to get places.
I think a lot of them. The thing is, it's like, have you guys ever experienced someone who's sort of like middle management or like a security guard at a mall or the person taking tickets
like
to the movie theater and they want to exert their authority?
Yeah.
That's how everyone is now. So the thing is, these people are bullies and you have to stand up to bullies because like most bullies, when you do stand up to them, they fold like a card table and they back right off. So I beg you, to everyone watching, stop complying.
I mean, maybe that will work. If we kind of just don't follow the rules, and if they're like, okay, but you still have to wear masks, okay, then don't shop there. And then if everyone stops shopping there, then they're going to be forced to, you know, face the consequences of that. So
that's what I do. There are 2 grocery stores near me. One requires masks, one doesn't. I will not shop at the one that requires masks.
That's so true. That's so true. It's like that near me too. There's a Giant and a Safeway. The Safeway doesn't require masks, so I go there. But during the pandemic, they did require masks. So if they do it again, then I'm just gonna have to do something else because what the fuck? I'm not doing that shit again.
I won't do it. It's insane. I mean, it's so funny though, because do you remember maybe like 3-4 years ago, people who were like very hard right, there was this kind of talking point where they were like, oh, they're gonna bring Sharia law to America. And I'm just thinking about it, I'm like, they didn't have to. We did it to ourselves.
Yeah, that was so funny. The whole like war on Christmas, like Sharia law phase of the American right, that was super funny actually.
But it's like we've done it to ourselves. I mean, I was just thinking the other day, I mean, think back to like just 3-4 years ago. It's so quaint how a couple years ago, the big thing we were fighting about was like political correctness and comedians performing in colleges. And in a couple years, that has escalated from government locking us inside our houses, forcing businesses to close down, forcing you to cover up your face like we're living in freaking Saudi Arabia. It's clear to see the line that can be drawn from one to the other. And it's because and this isn't, you know, it's everybody. This has been in the works for decades and decades and decades of the right not standing up against this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all of that has brought us to where we are.
They'd rather worry about fake shit like Sharia law coming to America.
The war on Christmas, or Simone Biles and gay marriage. I'm like, can we just, you know, worry about communism first?
Yeah, I like the focus on education now. Like people are now worried about like the things that teachers are teaching kids in schools and stuff, because that's really the bedrock of America is the children and what the children learn and how the children grow up. So I appreciate that now, but all this fear mongering about other shit has got to go.
Well, and that's why there's such a focus on the alphabet shit, because it's like that is the gateway through kids to bring them into this sort of radical leftist ideology.
Because is being gay inherently leftist? Of course not. But is the way that they're teaching this shit in schools inherently leftist and is going to try to create more far left progressive voters? Of course it is. So,
and I'm sorry, but like there has just never been a time in history where kids were coming out at 5 years old, or 3-year-olds were transgender,
or they're genderless babies. Like there's a baby now, genderless, non-binary babies, and there's trans parents where there's a trans mom and a trans dad. And I don't know if you saw the video. There's a video of like a trans mom and a trans dad trying to breastfeed their baby the other day, and they obviously couldn't do it because the trans mom was born a male and they couldn't breastfeed the baby. And they were like, oh my God, how is this not working? I was like, you want me to say it or do you want to Google it? Because I don't want to be misconstrued as transphobic here.
I'm not. Well, that's the problem is like I get shit from both sides with this because I've always been extremely
because you're a cis white man. Yeah. You're not straight, you're cisgender. And I hate that word too. Like cis.
It's not real.
Cis. Like, no, that's like implying that there's something different about
that. We're the outliers.
Right. Cis.
I'm 99.7% of the population.
Yeah, that's fucking
no, but yeah, I get shit from both sides on this because I'm very unabashedly pro trans people living their lives however they want. To me, like if someone is a transgender woman, to me I understand we have to, you know, acknowledge differences in conversation.
Yeah, like, I feel like a trans woman,
a
trans woman is a trans woman. I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, oh, but you're a biological male. Like, unless you're trying to like be in women's sports or something, or like try to force yourself into, like, that's why I get pissed when I see biological males on apps and stuff for women or like lesbians or whatever, because I'm like, dude, not, I mean, I use dude gender neutrally, by the way, but I'm like dude, this is not the space for you. But you know, we love Blair White on this channel. Mikey loves Blair White. We're all besties with Blair. We should all, I feel like we need to hang out with her, all three of us.
Oh, that'd be great. I want to go on a trip. Can we all go on a trip together?
Oh yeah, you wanted to go to like Austin, right? Or somewhere? Yeah. Okay.
See, okay, so I went to Texas maybe like a month ago or something, and I had to like get all hung up on some stupid guy there. So like I would be so high on Texas right now if it were, I ruined Texas for myself. So let's go there. I need like a different association with Texas, so let's go there.
Okay, ask Blair, because you're the one that actually knows her in real life. I don't know her in real life, so you ask. No, I've never met her in real life.
I thought you guys knew each other. I don't know why.
I mean, we know each other online, but I've never met her in person.
Well, let's all go on a trip.
Okay, ask her. I'll literally go. Me
too. I gotta get the hell out of New York.
I gotta get the hell out of Maryland, bro.
Let's do it. Let's like move somewhere together.
Okay, you're going a little too far.
Let's go somewhere then.
Okay, yeah. Let's start off with a little trip to Austin with Blair, and then we'll talk about us all becoming roommates. Is that fair?
Yes, that'd be amazing. Oh my God. That's what I was gonna say though. Is just what I was gonna say before is that there could have been such an opportunity here with people who are sick of the lockups and sick of the communism and have had their lives upended by this. There could have been such an opportunity if the Republican Party in New York would have just gotten to work, gone, knocked on doors, gone into neighborhoods, talked to people, changed minds.
No, but they do
nothing.
Unwinnable.
They do nothing.
Yeah, they view these districts as unwinnable.
Of course they're unwinnable, but that's the thing is like, okay, so how did Giuliani become mayor then? But at a certain
I always bring that up because people are like, New York, there is no New York GOP. I'm like,
they tried back then.
Who is a hardcore Republican, literally was in charge of the whole shebang. Like,
he was amazing too. He's batshit crazy now with fucking shoe polish running down his face, but like he was great then.
I love this comment. Montana said, okay, so I feel bad for asking Olivia if she likes spicy blondes, and she isn't 21 yet. I did not know that. I'm going to be 30 this November. I feel creepy for saying that. I'm so sorry. That's not creepy. I don't know. I feel like there's such a push these days that feels like an age gap is like so creepy. I just feel like if you're over 18, then I don't find it that creepy unless the age gap is like 20 years. But
hey, God, the lad.
I'm 20. That's not that bad. I'm 20. You're 29. I'll turn 21 next year. You can buy me my first legal drink.
Ooh,
you know,
does Montana go that way? I didn't know that. I like this.
I mean, no, actually, Mikey still has to get me a fake ID so we can go out in the town.
I know where to get them. I had one since I was like 14.
This is a gay lifestyle they're talking about.
No, it's not. It was literally to go to like punk rock shows.
Even more like
gay. I wasn't gay at the time.
Oh, you had a straight phase?
So did you. Don't look at me like that.
Okay, but like I'm bi, that's different. Like I thought you were like
I was bi for a little bit too.
I thought you were like a gold star gay for some reason.
I'm not.
Oh my God. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Close your mouth.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later. Oh my God, I'm learning so many things about you. Okay.
The point is, we are going to hit the town and flirt with strangers.
Okay.
Olivia.
We're gonna go up to random people. We're gonna go up to random people like, do you like girls or guys? And pick one of us.
We could just see which one.
Yeah, just see
looking at, and that's how we can tell.
See which one. So now that we've just became a completely degenerate live stream, I am gonna end it. This has been over an hour. It's been really fun though. We talked about Mafia. We talked about how hard it is being a right-wing queer person. We talked about the Republican strategy, which is really ass. We talked about independents, libertarians, walk away drama, insurrection drama, Brandon Straka drama, whatever. Thank you to everybody in the comments. Olivia Mikey is a bad influence. Ask me about park dates. I sure will.
Liz had such a bug up her ass about park dates. Like, okay, is it just me?
I'm going to ask you about it after.
I mean, with the right person, park dates, or is it just me?
I like a good park date. Not that I've ever been on one because nobody takes me.
Can I just say, by the way, I love you so much. You guys, Olivia was the first person to ever come on my channel back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mentioned that.
I still had horrible bleach blonde hair.
It was cute. It was cute. I like the dark hair as a look, though. You look much more Italian now.
I love you, though. I miss you. I can't wait to hang out.
Me too. Even though you want to move in or move to Austin or whatever, we're just going to go on a trip.
Oh, please, let's do it. Can I say to people watching, I have to be shameless for a minute. So I'm currently getting banned from everything. I was banned from Instagram last week. I'm suspended from Facebook. I was literally banned from ZocDoc. It's like a website used to make doctors appointments. I think I used it once. Maybe I got banned.
I've never heard of that. Why are you banned from here?
So they're coming after me hardcore. So thank you so much, Olivia, for putting my stuff below. Add my new backup Instagram. I just launched on Locals, and it's going to be super fun. So join my Locals. I'm also on Twitter, which is a new one, and I feel like I'm just screaming into the void. So follow me on stuff. I'm fighting them real hard. I'm trying to get my stuff. I think I'm one of the most banned people ever.
Go follow him. He's hilarious. He talks about his orgies and whatever gay
I'm not having freaking orgies.
You know, the gay lifestyle.
Oh my God.
Just
both of our virginities are coming back.
For literally,
well, us and someone will change that.
No. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We'll get away from the tradness.
Literally, my mom watches my YouTube videos. And she's gonna be like,
now you tell me that.
Well, it's fine.
Mom, I'm sorry. I promise I'm very nice. I'm not a bad influence usually.
No. It's all good. Well, thank you to everybody in the chat. It was fun. We had like a lot of gay people in the chat tonight. Like it's been like a nice Alphabet Mafia party.
Homocons.
Woo, homocons in this bitch. Yeah, so I'll let you guys go. Have a good night. Oh yeah, follow Mike's links. I put them in the description. Okay, bye.
Love you.